We're about to lose one. Get the intruder.
Copy. We're almost there.
Security breach.
Attacking the area.
Security breach.
Shit, I've got movement. Where? Everywhere. Contact!
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to some more Thursday action here at Wyatt Hurts Games, and y'all know what that means. Well, it means some more Tom Clancy's SvM Blacklist Spies versus Mercs multiplayer action. This is SvM Blacklist gameplay at the Particle Accelerator, and we're going back in time a little bit. You know, I haven't actually been on much the past couple of weeks. Probably not at all. God knows I'm going to be a rusty, bloody mess when I finally get back on trying to get some new footage. But this I actually wanted to get up. It's not my best round. It was a pretty good one, though, you know, as far as close rounds go. Pretty good pace to it for the most part, although there was some real hurdles for me to overcome, some real moments of just pure ineptitude, pure ineffectiveness, but a few great moments as well, so we'll get to that. We'll check it all out. The other reason this never made it up was that, if y'all remember, there was quite a few consecutive rounds where I had this adrenaline junkie loadout in particular with the ARX-160 in there, and I just wanted to take a break from that. Anyway, so I dusted this off. It's time to get to it now. You see, the Spies, you know, I made a pretty normal run for the A sector early on, jacked the adrenaline in, but the Spies, it appears that they've come in here pretty ferociously. Some thick numbers in here. They managed to pierce the heart of the Particle Accelerator. They've got this hack going deep now. They're a bit to cross the 50% mark in the B sector, and they were thick here, you know. I managed to take out one man, one at the door. I've been chasing Raj here for a little while. The blue cheese man, he is the guy with the hack right now, and you know, just as I managed to, well, just as I perforated Raj, who is playing quite aggressively, real fast-paced to his playstyle, you know. He was working over the team. He nearly closed the gap on me had he not climbed that obstacle accidentally, which I've done down there as well. He may have actually gotten my neck, but I was getting swarmed. I was getting it from both ends. As Juan came in, defender number 2, coming in, caught me, well, he blindsided me. I wouldn't say he caught me napping. He certainly caught me off guard, as I certainly had a man there at my 12 o'clock, had a man at my 6 as well, and Juan coming in and sticking me and capitalizing, taking advantage of it, and sending me to the next life. And as I come back in, you know, Raj and I, we fell at about the exact same time, so I was forced to deal with him on the respawn as well, as he was swinging around there on the balconies, on railings, and tied me up long enough to really keep me from getting in here in any, you know, with any chance of being able to shut down this hack. I mean, it was deep at that point, and Blue Cheese did a fantastic job. I don't know if he was posted up in a corner somewhere, or if he was actively repositioning as the Merc patrols were sweeping through the sector, but he managed to pull that hack in, start to finish, and we see right there, a beautiful, you know, a little wonky, but a beautiful death from above by Raj, as he comes in with this big sweeping motion, a fast-paced stride right around me, goes straight for the wall. You know, I was kind of threw me off guard a little bit there, as I tried to step out. Y'all saw how it went down. I tried to step out, was hoping he was going to make a mad dash for the stairs. I'd pump him full of lead, but no, he makes a mad dash for the wall, and I knew I was in trouble as I scurried to try and get out of there. And you see that wonky death from above, and some of the locations on this map, just a little funky the way he came through there and managed to connect. But clearly it was triggered while I was still on the other side. Now right here, you can still see Raj kicking up a dust storm here on these double doors, keeping them well defended. I had to dangle. I mean, he had me tucked away in there at bait, almost scared to move. I eventually just used Peter as a little bit of bait, and I eventually finally did stop the goddamn, I don't know, the slicing and dicing display being put on by Raj. But moving up into the door, into the actual sector, you saw it. I mean, it was a pretty close call, pretty nicely timed grenade, as I was almost surprised I didn't blow my own ass up there as I tried to move into the sector after dropping that grenade right at the doorway. But you know what? It really surprised me because I didn't get a hit marker marker on the explosion, and I thought I was going to get in there into a kind of a safe corner, but no, didn't get the hit marker, but Juan was still dangling around up there on that pipe, and managed to stick me, punctured my skull with his blade, and sent me packing, and at that point, the hack on the A sector had gotten so deep, I just thought, I'm going to have to cut the strings on this sucker, and just move into position at the other end of the map, and try and guard C as well as I can, get a jump in here before they can pick this hack up, because I'll tell you, going from B to A, they picked that hack up really quickly, so I thought I better get over here. Anyway, giving the team a bit of a stern talking to, as I tell the lot of them to wake up, we've got no fucking excuse. And I was kind of rushed on that second message I was typing in, as I did see the overcharged suit being triggered in the distance, and that enemy spy, I think it was Blue Cheese, come rushing my way, So he was trying to get in here before we could really set up, and I'm kind of, it's nice to see the team getting in here a little thick. Although Juan breaking down a bit of the defenses, and Raj getting really deep there, trying to kind of just tuck himself away up there on the second floor, waiting to strike with some at the right moment, just kind of hoping nobody would notice him deep in the room, and looking to come in behind people when they were least expecting. And right here, dealing with Blue Cheese, I probably should have pursued him. He drops an EMP grenade, kind of keeping me at bay. I'm trying to bait him in. Unfortunately, the way he comes around there with the stun crossbow, goddamn, nothing I can do at that point. As he gets me tased, and me being really the last line of defense at that point, they get this hack going. My God, things are not looking good. There's still a solid 4.5 minutes left. They've grabbed 2 terminals. We're at risk of losing this third one. Things not going well for the team right now, and me stuck looking through a fuzzy camera in the afterlife, wondering where it went wrong. Yes, where it all went wrong. Well, I'll tell you where it all went wrong. Right here is where it all went wrong, is Blue Cheese posted up beautifully, a location I've used myself in the past. And he waited patiently, and me, I didn't play it very well. I really wasn't checking these the distant perimeter. I was looking to get in there. At that point, the team, myself and the rest of the team, were under pressure to breach that sector, shut down that hack, and I really didn't have much faith in the team at that point, simply because things fell apart quickly, and we just never recouped, Anyway, here we come. We're storming in here. Defenses are still up. I think Blue Cheese is probably still working that wide perimeter, so that's one less man we're going to have to worry about. Luckily, I catch Juan. I had the RFD vision popping up all over the place with these damn trophy systems down, and there we go. I've spotted the hacker. I think it's Raj, if I'm not mistaken, and he's holding his ground up there despite all the grenades flying into the area. I am aware that I have a man up there, a presence up there on the second level. No, it was the least experienced of the 4 players on the opposite team. Buzzer, a TJ man, yes, I give him credit for holding his ground under fire there, but finally I flush him out with a little VX, and at 81% on the third terminal, we shut it down. But I'll tell you, look at this, 3 minutes left. That forces Buzzer out of the game as well. Not sure why he bailed. They were having a great time. Maybe he just didn't want to play the Mercs side of things, and again, there are players like that out there. 3 minutes left. At this point, things really looking bleak. They've managed to take 2 full terminals, and of course, like I said, that 81% on the third, and goddamn, spirits have been shattered here on the Merc side of things. I like where Peter's set up. I like having that early. I like where what's his name? Mikbakova? Yeah, Mikbakova. We'll just call him Bakova. I like where MC Bakova. That's what we'll call him. MC Bakova over there. I liked where he was set up. Kind of an early warning system, an early detection system, an early, presence out there in the hallway. And of course, Peter cutting off that ventilation access. Myself here deep in the room, and we're swarming, and we've got things, on a bit of a low-key lockdown right now. Yes. So, but you know what? It's too little, too late, people. At the 2-minute warning after losing all of that intel. Well, what can I say? I'm almost hanging my head in shame at this point. But I got to keep looking up. I got to keep looking forward. I got to keep this sector on lockdown if we stand a chance of bringing in victory here. So let's take a quick look at this loadout, this suit. We've seen it plenty of times before. It's the Elite Adrenaline Suit RFD vision in there. Flash protection visor, armored gloves, pocket pants, and the running shoes. Frag grenades and VX gas are on my hip. The ARX 160 is in my hands with the red dot sight on there. Muzzle brake, armor piercing rounds, the weight balance, the match grade trigger, in the accurized barrel. And there we go. This gun has served me well. This loadout in general has served me well in the past. For anybody who has not used it, I certainly recommend throwing it in your hands and going in there, adrenaline junkie style, you know, fast-paced, running gun, and actually, the gun's pretty effective at most ranges. You know, the extreme long ranges, not all that great, but it is pretty effective across multiple ranges. Good accuracy and can get guys quickly when they're up in your face as well. Now, you can see, here it is. We've got the minute warning. You can see that they finally kind of collectively pushing into the area. There was a little bit of caution. They couldn't seem to find an opening, and now I'm seeing movement in multiple locations. We had Juan try to get in there in the main door. Now we see Blue Cheese rushing in here. Unfortunately for me, a little bit of an erratic spray. He was running a pretty good zigzag pattern. I probably should have had the man there. That's my own damn fault for not being able to complete the kill, you know, but he was bringing in the thunder and the lightning. The you know, the Impia grenades were going down, and he was zooming in and managed to close the gap, so good on him. Good on him. My error there. And but you know what, the team does come through and does keep a shred of hope alive for us, as it appears that they managed to quell the that last ditch effort, that last threat that was left in the sector. Me, a little frizzle-frazzle here, as you can see. I've not known where to expect them, but I'll tell you, I died a few times. You know, good players, Juan, Raj, Blue Cheese, sticking it to us pretty good there as the Spies. And you know, I had a pretty good performance, not spectacular as the Merc, 16-6, but got swarmed a few times and got killed with a few great deaths at entries to sectors. They had good guards up when they had the hacks running, and of course, whoever the hacker was in B, well, or Blue Cheese is who it was, never even saw him. Unfortunately, in A, I don't think we ever really breached the sector. They had that solid of a guard up in there, and they managed to slip through our defenses on C, which they shouldn't have been able to do. So now, you know, we've got 10 minutes to try and pull ourselves out of the shitter, because that's where we are right now. Yes, in the shitter. Now, right here, the drone coming in. You know, I didn't like having to burn through 2 EMP grenades. We get the hack going. We pick it up in C. It's nice. We've got numbers over here. The team's over here strong. There's at least 3 of us here. The smoke grenades are coming out of my pocket, trying to keep guys at bay. Cocoon is the new man in, who replaced Buzzer. Not sure what his skill level's like, but he does have a little exchange there with, who was it? With Bakova, with MC Bakova. I managed to capitalize. Bakova got a big assist there as he knocked the Cocoon man down on his ass, and I do a little slice and dice on a Juan, but not before the Blue Cheese comes and bucks me down with his shotgun of death. However, threw it out at all. You know, Peter managing to keep the sack alive. It's not deep yet. There's nothing to write home about, but it's a good start. We need a good start to this round if we really stand a chance of being able to, well, again, pull ourselves out of the shitter. Now, right here, Mercs passing by underneath. I'm a little late on the kind of the, well, not the trigger necessarily, but dropping down and going for Juan. At that point, as he turned around, he looked like he was pretty heavily armored to the teeth. You know, he was well beyond armored to the nuts. He was armored to the teeth, that fella. He had a lot of bars there that needed to be whittled down, and I just didn't feel like holding my ground against him. Now, this build in particular, this is going back to kind of when I had just started to wield the PFS-12 in there with the running shoes and the spider gloves. This is still that loadout. I had been making a few modifications to the PFS-12 at that point in time. Hadn't really settled on anything, so unfortunately, I'm not sure what the exact build is on the PFS-12. But as far as the the suit loadout goes, this is a variation of my current Snake build. The current Snake build does carry the UMP-45 silenced in there. Now, as far as the loadout goes, the outfit: elite ghillie suit, spider gloves, pocket pants, sprinter boots, RFD disruption, EMF vision. I've got the EMPs, the smoke grenades in there. And again, the PFS-12 is in there, but I'm not entirely 100% sure what the attachments are. Now, right there, you know, I was almost setting up for an A hack. Unfortunately, foolishly, I really, wasn't didn't have good awareness there. This is, I think I had said near the start of the round that I was having some difficulties at times where I was extremely ineffective, and that was one of those instances as I was looking the opposite direction trying to shut down that drone. I probably should have been moving. As that hack had been picked up in the B sector, the drone kind of froze me up there for a second. I'm not sure why, but Juan coming out of I left myself completely exposed there to a Juan coming out of the A sector, probably, his pupils dilating at the sight of old Hertzy just sitting there unawares, and he filled me full of lead quite well. You know, now right here, a failed attempt in B. I do give the heads up to the team. Let's go for A. I'm set up nicely. I figured Juan would be returning this way. Fortunately, it wasn't him. I wanted a little bit of sweet revenge, but I suppose I'll have to wait for it if it will ever arrive at this point. There's Raj. I do manage to catch him at the door and settle back in after picking the hack up. Now you can see that's one of my, I never vocalized it, but it's one of my issues with the Sprinter boot Spider Glove combo. Now look at that. I got a beautiful secondary, you know, death from above, backup death from above after initiating the hack on Blue Cheese off of the pipe into the door. Now where the hell did Juan come from? You know, I saw him. I knew he was coming across the upper level. I'm surprised he was able to drop down as quickly. You know, a lot of the Mercs, a lot of the time when a Merc drops down from upper level, he's going to get staggered there, but we didn't see any of that. He just kind of almost popped out of nowhere and got the, you know, the melee kill on me, the melee bash, put me down, sent me back. And right here, a nice little exchange with Raj. As, you know what, he fills me full of lead. I stood my ground against him. I took out one man, you know, stood my ground against Raj with the PFS-12. Took him down to 1 bar, but it just wasn't enough. And he sends me to the next left yet again. So we're struggling here early on. Things not looking great. 5-minute mark. We still have yet to get any intel. And we need about 3 terminals to actually be able to bring in this victory at this point. Now, this, what was I saying previously, kind of about the I was doing a loadout rundown. The Sprinter boots and the Spider gloves, you know, you get, when you have that combo in there, you have to be really on the mark with your movements. Otherwise, well, that was one of my beefs with it that I really haven't drawn any attention to yet, is that you'll find yourself running up those walls accidentally from time to time, and at times, you know, it's going to cost you your life or cost you valuable seconds when you when you don't have any time to waste, when you're trying to pierce a populated sector and pick a hack up while the Merc in the area is kind of left unawares, you know. So when time is valuable, it can cost you if you're not clean in your movements. And well, we saw that back there. It didn't have a great effect on the outcome of the scenario that I was currently in, but you saw I was having some difficulties, you know, kind of cleanly getting on the terminal, running up the wall accidentally. The other issue I have with this loadout in particular, this was going back to kind of the recommendation that came in to get this loadout in particular with the EMF vision and all that jazz. EMF, I enjoy the vision, but to be honest, and I think many of you will agree, for some particular sectors, it's shit. Yes, this map is notoriously blinding against the EMF vision, especially when you're in the A sector. The B sector isn't too friendly either. Even though we do manage to bring in the hack there, that was quite nice, quite slick. I was in there tearing things up, you know, trying to mix things up, trying to play a distraction, keeping them off of Peter for as long as I possibly could. Again, think it's too little too late at this point, as we're crossing the 4-minute mark. We've only got 1 terminal. We still need to bring in about 3, you know, to stand any chance. Yeah. Right here, again, I decided to stand my ground against a, you know, an unawares Raj and pump him full of lead. You know, really close encounter there. I do get the better of him that time, get a little revenge in that style of exchange, put the PFS-12 to work, and shed a little blood. Yes, send him to the penalty box. Now, yeah, so the EMF vision, as I catch Juan napping here, or forced to deal with another one of my teammates as he puts down Oz Walrus there in the distance. And again, you saw me accidentally running up the wall, and did it cost me valuable time? Perhaps, you know, perhaps I could have escaped to safety had I been a little quicker on the hack. I could have disappeared in the shadows a little bit more efficiently at that point. But again, any hack attempt by me seems to be shut down rather quickly, not having much success in that regard. Maybe I should just settle in as the aggressive spy, playing the defensive, you know, playing the defender, you know, playing the distraction where I can. Now I'm disappointed in Oz Walrus here. 3 minutes left. We need 2 terminals. Get off your goddamn knees, sir, and get moving. You know, no time to waste at this point. If we stand a chance of even bringing in, you know, making it look respectable at this point, you're gonna have to move. So I picked this hack up in the B sector. Going back to the EMF vision, I still wanted. I mean, there's other sectors that can be listed, that can be coupled in there with the problems that the A sector here will cause you, that the B sector here will also cause you. You know, stuff like the C sector at the uranium mine. The A sector at the uranium mine is pretty bad as well. And others, you know, the B sector at the virus vault. So guys that use the EMF are aware of that fact. You know, you can shut them down, but anytime you use that EMP grenade in proximity to an enemy Merc, you're also shutting down his systems and, in fact, darkening him to the vision as well. So I like the vision. It's a good middle ground vision between that distant range of the sonar and the close range of the thermal. You know, and each have their strengths and weaknesses and are somewhat well balanced. You know. So you just be wary. You know, if you don't use the EMF too often, you're going to have those sectors where you're going to have a hard time seeing yourself and tracking Mercs effectively through some of the more, some of those electrical, that electrical equipment that is going to act as a barrier for your vision mode, right? Anyway, here we go. The hack looking like it may actually get deep here in these dying minutes of this. Could it be? Could it be? Could it be a comeback victory after all of that, losing 281% on the Merc side of things? Could we be on the road to victory? Who knows? Who knows? You know, we had a terrible start here as the Spies. Some good luck there. A good job done by Peter and the rest of myself and the rest of the team in the B sector, bringing that in. And look at this. It looks like it's coming in 95%. The Mercs, they're starting to swarm. They've finally shifted over to my position after I was forced to reposition early on in this hack. And look at that. Managed to pull in a second terminal. Now all we need, 81% of the third, and we're looking good. And we have the overtime to do it if I could just cross the map and pick this hack up in time. The team appears to be over there already. MC Bakova looks like he's right on the ball. Oz Walrus even looks like he's a little bit on the ball, although I'm still not a big fan of how passively he plays, especially when you need to be pushing a fast pace, when it's that type of scenario where you have to throw caution to the wind, But anyway, MC Bakova picks up this hack, and I start dropping, the EMP grenades are going down. That actually helped me here as I was able to track Mercs a little bit more efficiently. I do, luckily, I get Blue Cheese last second, fill him full of lead with the PFS-12, but he does kind of give me a little elbow, a little nudge, knocks me off balance, and Raj comes in to capitalize. Big assist there by Blue Cheese on that kill, however, as he did knock me down and left me exposed. But through it all, the hack starting to get deep. We're at about the 50% mark. MC Bakova tucked away nicely here. Mercs still swarming in. This is Juan right here, moving in with the disruptor suit. Bakova repositions really wisely there, manages to sidestep Juan, and I come in to clean him up, stick him good before he, who I'm pretty sure he had become aware of Bakova's presence up there on the upper level. It looked like he was getting ready to make a charge for the stairs to go and sweep this corner a little more effectively, and I shut him down before he could get there. I stonewalled him. I gave him the straight arm, the stiff arm, and the jab to the chest with the cold steel, and shut him down in overtime. And there it is. You saw just as I was spawning, MC Bakova is shutting down Raj as he right at the 81% mark, which would have ended up in a draw had Raj come out on top with that. But Bakova doing a great job keeping the hack going. We passed the 81% mark, and victory is ours on just a spectacular, little comeback victory. Again, not my greatest performance. Some moments of true mediocrity there, but you know what? We came through in the end. You guys enjoy the close rounds. Well, there's one that was certainly close. Again, a decent numbers. My deaths got a little bit out of control, but that happens when you're going up against skilled players, experienced Mercs, experienced Spies who know how to handle themselves out there, and some aggressive players down in that bottom level, especially when they're in the, their spy gear like Raj, who was just like a goddamn sandstorm out there, slicing and dicing and shedding blood left, right, and center, guarding sectors like a boss, and of course Juan was doing a great job too, and Blue Cheese had his moments against me that I had seen, probably had quite a few more to go along with that as well. Anyway, let's run down the names and numbers here myself. 1 hack, 1 defend, 34-16. And I was scrambling, trying to keep the hack alive, trying to play the distraction in those the sectors where I wasn't carrying the hack. Throwing caution to the wind, just getting in there and mixing things up. Didn't always work out for me, didn't always pan out. But I'll tell you, that kill on Juan in the A sector in overtime, I almost guarantee you that played a factor in MC Bakova being able to keep that hack running as long as he did. Anyway, and there he is right below me. He doesn't get the full hack, but it's very instrumental in that victory coming in. Pulled in the entire 92% of that third terminal. 15 and 16 for that fella. Oz Walrus, a little too passive. I spent a lot of time playing with this guy during the session. I continuously drew him on my team, and there was just no cohesion, no melding. It got to a point where I'd see the teams get drawn up, and I was I'd see Oswalrus end up on the team, and I was disappointed almost every time, yes. Because I just knew there was no cohesion. He wasn't a great team player. Hopefully he'll work on that, improve with time, you know. The last guy that was in there with us, should make mention of him, Peter, with the one hack as well. Not sure what his end numbers were. He ducked out after getting the hack, and with maybe about 4 minutes left on the clock, just ended up leaving the game. Down on the bottom level, these are guys that I've played with before, a few of them on my friends list. Juan there with 1 defend, 18 and 15, pretty good performance. Blue Cheese right below him, 2 hacks, big producer here, 2 hacks, 3 defense, 19 and 13, possibly the MVP, but I can't, discount Raj, because that guy got some great kills on me, was working the double doors and A really well, just had a fast pace to his movements, was doing some real slicing and dicing whenever we were crossing paths. I was usually seeing my teammates getting ginsued by him, at his hands, right? So pretty good numbers for him, 1 defend, the 14 and the 19, and Cocoon came in late, so we'll leave it all at that. Anyway, people, I hope you enjoyed this vid. I hope to see you in the next one when it rolls out. As always, appreciate it when you stop by. But until next time, all remember why it hurts. Later.